Okay, quick vertical scan. We see species, both native and non-native, a couple with semicolons, and others with just commas. So let's look at the sentence. The Arctic Alpine Botanic Garden in Norway and the Jardim Botanico Rio de Janeiro in Brazil are two of many botanical gardens around the world dedicated to growing diverse plant species. Okay, that's an independent clause. Both native and non-native, fostering scientific research and educating the public about plant conservation. Okay. So why is this semicolon here with an and? Is this going to be a list? It possibly is going to be a list. So that might be dedicated to growing diverse plant species, semicolon, that would be item 1 in the list. Both native and non-native, comma, fostering scientific research, because we have the comma in between on item 2 on the list. We need the semicolons rather than the colons, rather than the commas, as like a super comma. Okay, and then we'd have semicolon and the final element in the list. That looks like it's what's going on here. Let's just double check. So this and that are two of many botanical gardens around the world dedicated to growing diverse plant species. Essentially would be semicolon or comma. Both native and non-native, fostering scientific research. So they're dedicated to growing, fostering and educating the public. That looks to be the parallel structure. I think that's what's going on. Okay, let's just quick check the other options. Both native and non-native, and then we have a semicolon with an and. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't work. Both native and non-native with a semicolon. So diverse plant species, both native and non-native, semicolon. Then say fostering scientific research. So they're dedicated to growing diverse plant species. Actually, the both native and non-native refer to the species, right? The diverse plant species. This would be the next item on the list. So it's actually not this semicolon. It is a list of 1, 2, and 3, but this is 1 with a comma. List of 2 is fostering scientific research. And list element 3 is educating the public about conservation. Because you wouldn't say both native and non-native fostering scientific research. That really describes the growing diverse plant species. B is actually the correct answer here. So I'm glad we read it again, because we were potentially selecting the wrong semicolon as a super comma. B is the correct answer. In 1955, Indian Bengali filmmaker Sajid Ray released his first movie, Panther, Quiet and Black. So Panther Panchali, which was a quiet black and white drama, comma, a quiet black and white drama, or period, Panchali period, a quiet black and white drama. All right, so let's see. Do we have sort of a commas? I don't think it's going to be this. Panchali, it's kind of in a positive, right? The Panther Panchali is the name, and then it's a quiet black and white drama. That's the same thing. They're one and the same. So I wouldn't have no punctuation because I already named it. So if I say it's a quiet black and white drama, I need to put that in separated by commas. Okay? So that would suggest possibly B or C. But it could be D. It could be an entire independent clause. So let's check on this. So he released his first movie, comma, Panther Panchali, comma, a quiet black and white drama about a family in rural India, comma, Ray's film was quite different from the loud, colorful action romance movies that were popular. No, that's not it. It can't be the comma. That doesn't work with this independent clause. So what would it be? Panther Panchali, which was a quiet black and white drama about a rural family in India. Ray, comma, Ray's family was quite... So Indian Bengali released his first movie, Panther Panchali. That's an independent clause. And then we have a dependent clause, right? A quiet. So that doesn't even work. So this isn't working, this isn't working. Boy, is it going to be a period? Let's try that. So we have independent clause. Indian filmmaker released his first movie, Panther Panchali, and then a new sentence. So that would be independent clause. This is going to be probably our dependent clause, independent clause type setup. So new sentence, a quiet black and white drama about a rural family in India, dependent clause up front. Independent clause, Ray's family was quite different from the loud, colorful action romance movies that are popular. That's exactly what's going on. This is our classic, what's now going to be a new classic, independent clause, period, then dependent clause, comma, independent clause. It's testing the boundaries, and they often give you parentheticals and such as possibilities, but more often than not, the answer is a period and then the dependent, comma, independent clause to follow. Okay, continents, geological, looks like we've got a colon, semicolon, no punctuation, period. Let's take a look. A study published by Rice University geoscientist Ming Tang in 2019 offers a new explanation for the origin of Earth's continents. Structures called arcs, comma, towering ridges that form when a dense ocean plate subject. So this is definitely going to be some kind of punctuation for Earth's continents. Geological structure is called arcs, comma, towering. That's not it. It's not going to be a period in this case. It's therefore probably not going to be a semicolon. I think this is going to be a colon. It's definitely not going to be no punctuation. So Ming Tang in 2019 offers a new explanation for the origin of Earth's continents. Okay. The new explanation follows the colon. Geological structures called arcs, comma, towering ridges that form when a dense ocean plate subducts under a less dense ocean plate. That's modifying, telling you what these arcs are, these towering arcs. Melts in the mantle below and then rises and bursts through the continental crust above. That's what essentially the origin of Earth's continents are. These arcs that do all these things. This is going to be the right answer, B. It's going to be a colon followed by an explanation of what the origin of Earth's structure called of Earth's continents are, actually. 20. The Tantakidjan Museum in Newcastle, Connecticut was founded in 1931 with the goal of showcasing the culture and history of the Mohegan tribe. And today, or just today, with comma or without comma. So, okay, if I'm going to be tribe, comma, and, that means independent clause, right? That's the case. Because that's a comma, and our fanboys. Tantakidjan Museum was founded in 1930 with the goal of showcasing the cultural and history of the Mohegan tribe. That's an independent clause before, okay? And today, nearly a century later, it is the oldest native-owned and operated museum in the country. That's an independent clause too. This could well be it. Let's just check the other options. History of the Mohegan tribe today, nearly a century later. So it was founded in 1930 with the goal of showcasing the culture and history of the Mohegan tribe. Today, nearly a century later is, no, that doesn't, that's just comma splice. Tribe and today, comma, nearly a century later, again, that's setting up a comma splice, two independent clauses. The Mohegan tribe, comma, today, comma, nearly a century later. No, again, that doesn't work. I need a comma and between my independent clauses. A. The poem Beowulf begins the word what, which is an Old English exclamation translated or possibly and translated. And is it going to be a sentence or just a comma? As hark or listen. In some versions, the word was playfully rendered as bro by Maria Headley in her 2020 translation of the poem. Okay, so let's see this. Can I have some type of dependent clauses? Or do I need a period between independent clauses? So the poem Beowulf begins with the word what, which is an Old English exclamation. That would be an independent clause. Okay. And then would we say, translated as hark or listen in some versions, the word was playfully rendered as bro. That would be an independent clause as well. I think we're going to have the period here. This is going to be another independent clause, period. Translated, which is a past participle, setting up a participle phrase or participle clause here, which is dependent clause up front, then separated by comma there. Then we get the main independent clause. The word was playfully rendered as bro, right? That's going to be it. That's, again, our new classic structure. Independent clause, period. Dependent clause, comma, independent clause. D. Let's just check the others quick that they don't work. Pero, which is an English exclamation, comma, translated as hark or listen, some versions, comma. The word was playfully, no, because then I'm setting up a new independent clause with just a comma, and that's a comma splice. So exclamation N translated, that doesn't make a difference. It's the same problem, and that's the same problem. D is the answer.